Alright guys, so I'm going to give you an off-the-cuff impressions of Titanfall 2. I just finished, I think, an hour and a half of games there. I've hit the level cap quite a while ago. I've played a lot. I've used most, if not all, of the weapons. Maybe the only weapons I haven't used have been the snipers. Played a lot of games, did very well. I can tell, just before we get into this commentary, I've been doing very good all night. I know there's some form of skill-based matchmaking in the game. I'm not sure if that's going to be present in the beta, but if it is, I'm going to get smacked super hard by skill-based matchmaking. So these good games might not continue, but um, I've had competitive games, I've had good games, and I just want to give you a really conclusive final thoughts on Titanfall 2 now that I've played loads of it. So. You got two game modes, which are some attrition style mode. It involves bots, and you kill them and you deposit cash, I forget the name of it. And then you have hardpoint. Very quickly, I'm going to say hardpoint is broken right now. The devs have acknowledged as much. The Titan build times are completely broken. You're lucky to even get a Titan built halfway through the game, never mind in the game at all, even if you're doing quite well. So this weekend at least, Hardpoint isn't really worth playing. It's still fun, but the devs have acknowledged they're going to fix the whole Titan build times by weekend 2. So this is weekend 1. Next weekend that should be fixed. So I can't really comment on the real dynamics of Hardpoint yet. Although I will say this: the map layout for Hardpoint. Pretty good. I like the flag positions. I like how B flag is often reserved for Titans and A and C are for pilots. So at the very least, I'm liking the map design layout of Hardpoint, but I can't really comment too much on it. In regards to the attrition style mode that we have involving bots, I started out not liking it. After playing with a few friends there, it actually became really fun, and the more competitive games were actually very fun. Once you actually learn, the dynamics of when the waves end and to look out for the banks when they open. It's very confusing at first, but gets you learn along the way, and it actually. I never thought I'd say this, but I actually really like the mode now. But that's once you get used to it and once you learn it. It's actually very confusing the first few times you play and you don't know what's going on. Anyway, on to the real impressions. A lot of people aren't liking the game now. I can't blame them for that. It's mainly the core Titanfall community, and the ones that really played Titanfall 1 a lot. As far as I can tell, the new guys, especially on PS4, they're finding it alright. And I guess a big factor in that is the fact that the game might as well be called Titan Mayfall instead of Titanfall, and that's because the reason some people like to call it Titan Mayfall is because your Titan might not actually fall. You might not even get a Titan during a single game, and that's because unlike in Titanfall 1, Titans are essentially kill streaks now. Rather than just little. In Titanfall 1 you were able to wait your Titan out. If you were having a bad game as a pilot, weren't getting many kills, your Titan would spawn anyway, it would recharge automatically. In Titanfall 2 that isn't the case. It's a kill streak based style thing. I'm gonna say I've been having an okay time of it, but that's because I'm a fairly experienced Titanfall player, and I know what's going on, and I know I know how to do well in the game basically. But I'm gonna say off the bat, Respawn, you need to change this. You need to bring it back to a recharge based system, because the whole thing that made Titanfall 1 so good was the fact that even if you weren't a great player, you could spawn your Titan after having a bad game, despite not getting any kills, and you'd go and wreck, and that was the fun of it. So I'm just gonna say right now, Respawn, you need to fix it. Bring back the recharge timer. No reason, unneeded change. It shouldn't be a kill streak. You need to bring back the recharge timer. Speaking more about accessibility for perhaps less able players, this attrition style mode, it's not attrition, I forget the name of it, but it's a cash based mode. It's a cash based mode, you deposit cash. I'm going to say it's not as good as attrition from Titanfall 1. Furthermore, this is the only mode in Titanfall 2 which will have grunts or AI bots. Some people are happy about this. Look, this was another thing which made the game so accessible and so fun to less able players, and that's the most important thing, because if you have that, then you're going to build, you're going to build a good community, and you're not locking the game out to the most experienced players. So again, this mode, or not this mode, this is Hardpoint, but the other mode with bots in it, this is going to be the only mode in Titanfall 2 which has bots. Unlike Titanfall 1, nearly every mode had bots. Needs to change as well. No reason there shouldn't be bots in the map. It added to the atmosphere. The maps feel a lot more dead without bots in them. Bad decision, Respawn. You need to change it. And I think the vast majority of the Titanfall community will agree with me on that. And that's really all I need to say about bots. They need to come back in every single mode because basically they're a good little crutch for the less able players, and I have no problem with that. And you know, they encourage running about. They encourage you to run about and kill them to get your Titan. There's a lot of advantage to them beyond simply being, you know, cannon fodder. So I'll leave that there. In regards to balance, I think Respawn have done a mostly good job. I feel like the Rio and the car are a bit, I won't say they're unbalanced, but I feel, I'll say this, they're a lot easier to use than the LMG and the L-Star, which is the other LMG in the game. It's a laser-based rifle. You know, the L-Star is good. That's the laser rifle. It's decent. I feel it's a little too inaccurate at range. I feel the actual normal LMG, the bullet-based one, I feel that needs a bit of a buff, ever so slight, just to bring it up to the levels of the car and the Rio or the R201, because those are a little too accurate at range. But I mean, overall, I have to say, you know, Respawn have done a decent job in balance, and I'm happy if it came to launch and the balance was the same, I wouldn't have a problem. It's just little niggles. I'd like to see the LMGs in particular buffed a bit. Anti-Titan weapons are fine. I don't think they should be any weaker or any stronger. If you play as a Titan, you'll know pilots are annoying enough without having anti-Titan weapons buffed, so I think anti-Titan weapons are fine. Titans themselves, really fun to use. I feel Scorch is a lot funner to use than Ion. Ion's a sort of basic Titan, but Scorch is he's so fun to use once you get used to him. And I feel a lot of people have a problem with the fact that you can't customize Titans much and that it's a hero-based system and that everything's set in stone. I don't particularly have a problem with it. I think it's an interesting change. It's a step sideways as opposed to a step forward or backwards. So I like it. I mean, I don't mind it. A lot of people do have a problem with it, but I think it makes Titans more interesting. And maps, to finish off on. The maps are, a lot of people are divided on this. I personally, the map you saw me playing on just there now in that last game, big open map. I hated it at first, but weirdly enough, the more I played it, I found more wall running spots and more parkour opportunities, and I was moving really fast through the map. I'm sure you saw it there. And a lot of people are saying that isn't the case. I think it's more a case of the wall running spots are less visible now, like the rocks as opposed to, you know, big metal plates. And honestly, my opinion's changed. I didn't used to like the maps, I've grown to like them a lot now. I think if they were in Titanfall 1, they'd be mid-tier maps. They wouldn't be great maps, they wouldn't be top of the line. Like the likes of Angel City and Titanfall 1, they're nowhere near that good, but I feel they're mid-lower tier maps from Titanfall 1. I hope that this isn't the best that Titanfall 2 has to offer, and I hope that, you know, when we see the full range of maps, they end up being good. But honestly, if you're having trouble with parkour and speed and stuff, a lot of people had trouble with that. It's hard to explain. Just look for the parkour opportunities. I know it's hard, but you've seen in that video there and in the gameplay now, I'm having some decent parkour opportunities. So yeah, I think the maps are all right. I've grown to them. I know I didn't like them at first. A lot of people don't like them right now, but I definitely have grown to them. And that's generally my Titanfall 2 impressions. I think overall, is it as good as Titanfall 1? At the minute, no. I think they need to change a lot of things, add bots in, change the way you build your Titan, i.e. give us a recharge timer instead of making it a kill streak. But I think it's decent, and I think if you start, a lot of people start out and they're sort of like, this feels different, there's a lot of subtle things that are different. If you play it long enough, you actually get used to it, and I actually really like it now. It's weird, and I know the sentiment is against Titanfall 2 at this point, but I feel as the days go on and people play it more, I think people will grow to it. But that's not to say the game isn't perfect. Of course, Titanfall have a lot of fundamental things to fix, but they're small things, they're small fundamental things, and I'm sure they can be fixed by launch. So that's my impression of Titanfall 2. I'm probably going to get it at launch. I'm confident enough in it that I'm going to get it at launch. So Yep, that's my impressions. Let me know what you think down below, and thanks for listening. Alright.